right, welcome to another episode of Song Title Challenge, where you get inside the mind of a hit songwriter. That hit songwriter is my co-host and good friend, Mr. Brent Baxter. And you send in your song titles. This is the way it works. Send in the best ones that you got. We'll take a listen to them, and Brent is going to craft about 4 or 5 different conceptual approaches to writing that lyric and twist it up a little bit to see, just to take a little bit deeper into the creative thing. This is a creative exercise. It's not a co-write, so you own 100% of the song, and it's just a fun way to learn how the brain of a songwriter works before they even start putting pen to paper. We're just conceptualizing what's the angle that we're going to take, rather than throwing a bunch of darts in the dark, which I think is a lot of how a lot of songs are written.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you would like to send in your song title, send them to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Once again, that's info@daredevilproduction.com. And put in the subject line Song Title Challenge. It'll get put in the right folder, and then if I happen to pick it on the air, I just randomly pick something that seems interesting to me. I spring it on Brent live, and he's got to riff for about 10 or 15 minutes and do the best that he can. You got anything you want to add to that?
I'm scared. So I'm going to look at these as a country writer trying to get a song on country radio, because that's just what I know best. But it really it's more about the thought process of digging deeper, turning things on their head, looking at it from different angles that should apply to you no matter what your chosen genre is. But that's where I'm coming from, because that's what I know best and can add the highest value. So, okay.
All right. So this is, we've done, I think, multiple titles from this writer. But guess what? He keeps sending them in. So
right.
he keeps coming up with some cool stuff that I think is interesting, and I'm interested to see what you do with.
Okay.
So this is from Shane Tripo, or Tripo, but AKA Tripod.
Tripod, right?
Okay. He's he's got a way with words.
He does have
He's a character.
He can, yes.
We like Shane.
Is.
And the song title is Skip the Rocks. Skip.
That is interesting.
The rocks.
Let me write this down so I can see it. Skip the rocks. Oh, there's the. Thank you, Shane. There's stuff in there. Okay, skip the rocks. First thing you think of course, skipping stones across the creek. You got that, but what other? I mean, skip has more than one meaning, and rocks has more than one meaning. This is what excites me, Johnny. Because, a playground.
Yeah.
There's not just a swing set, there's a slide,
And the monkey bars.
Oh, watch me totally fail on this one, because I have too many choices. So skip the rocks. You're thinking you got my drinks on the rocks, right? So shooting something straight. Mm-hmm. Skip the rocks, because also she skipped the diamond ring engagement ring. So I guess tonight we're both skipping the rocks. I'm drinking the hearts.
Oh, look at that! Boom! Drop the mic. Now we're both skipping the rocks.
We're both skipping the rocks because she didn't take my diamond ring, and I'm drinking straight whiskey. Right. I'm not cutting it with or on the rocks or anything. And you'll have to correct me on my drinking. Protocol.
The only rock in this drink is her diamond.
On the rocks.
We gotta swallow it down.
I would hurt
Pass it through.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
So that's something, and that's unless you're doing Eric Church had this song out called "She Got a Rock, I'm Getting Stoned."
Yeah.
Which is just it's song. Driving, it's awesome. It's she got engaged, so I'm getting stoned. That was a way that could have been kind of really whiny, ballady kind of thing, but they put muscle to it, and it was kind of almost defiant.
They Eric Churched it out. They churched it out.
So if you did something like tonight, we're both skipping the rocks. You could do something like that, hey, yeah, Joe, I know I'm usually just kind of talking to the bartender or your buddies, I know I normally get this whiskey on the rocks or whatever, but not tonight.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
She skipped the rock, and so am I.
Exactly.
Not tonight. She skipped the rock, and so am I. Boom.
Yeah, it's called skip the rock.
Time. Come on.
Yeah.
I got some brilliance every once in a while.
There you go. So that could be a thing, but you want to give it some muscle, give it some drive. That way, it's not just laying there as a ballad. So a lot of it is well, how are you going to say it? Oh, if you say it like that, you can get away with it, right? But it still is. It's a negative. It's it's not a happy song. Is there a way to make "Skip the Rocks" happy? Mm-hmm. There's a thing about it could be a big world peace kind of thing. Skip. Why don't we just go to the creek, skip stones instead of throwing stones at each other? Mm-hmm. Judging each other and throwing rocks at each other, hating on each other, and all this stuff. Tonight let's just go skip the stones. It could be a relationship thing. like, let's stop throwing stones at each other, metaphorically speaking, judging each other, and let's just let's just go skip the rocks, or let's just get out in the country, get away from the city that has us angry all the time or whatever, and just go skip some stones, get out to the country. That could be a thing too. That's interesting because it's a different way of stones and rocks and stuff. Let's skip judging and mad at each other and skip some stones instead. So what else could we have in there? The rocks. So it could be his new movie, The Rock's new movie. I don't want to see Jumanji because I'm so in love with Robin Williams that I just can't imagine a remake. So let's skip the Rock's movie. And no, let's probably not do that. He's more popular than you. He would win. So don't pick on anyone more popular than you, right? So on social media. Okay, so skip the rocks. What I'd like to do is somehow you're out there and you're skipping stones, skipping the rocks, and then at the same time it brings in this metaphorical kind of thing as well. So you get to play off both of them. I like when you can do those. And maybe he's skipping the ring across the river.
Oh.
I'm just out here skipping rocks.
Yeah.
And also
like throwing it away, like she didn't take it. So
she didn't take it. So I'm out here. I've gone to my campfire therapy to my country therapy to deal. This is where I go to deal. I go out and I got to be by myself and process, and so I'm out here skipping stones, just trying to chill. Right, nature's soothing that kind of way. But I'm taking the ring out. And I'm just going to give it a good old chuck too. So that could be a thing, right? But still negative. Skip the rocks. What if you're like, tonight I don't want to skip the rocks. Like, I'm taking you out to the creek, but tonight we're not skipping rocks. Like, cause I got one I don't want to throw away, and I got one I'm giving you, and we're not skipping stones tonight.
I never would have thought
like, we're not skipping the stone. We're not skipping stone. We're not missing out on this. We're not here to throw rocks. No, I'm here to propose.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't come here to skip the rocks because.
I was going with sex by the riverside. Like, that's where I went.
Well, that's why we're a good team. We balance each other out.
I was like, you're gonna go for the even better.
You went love. So, love in a grain elevator. Yeah. That's country music these days. Love in a grain elevator. It's like Aerosmith country.
Filling it up when it's going down.
Anyway, so I'm liking some of that. Okay, Shane, I'm digging this. So what do we got? So we got the I'm drinking because I didn't get engaged.
Right.
I'm throwing the stone,
ding, ding, ding.
The engagement ring across the river because we didn't get engaged.
Ding,
but I got
ding,
I'm bringing her here to get engaged. We're not, like maybe it's
we're not
like
skipping rocks. Yeah.
We're not skipping that. I want to go my whole life. I'm not skipping it. So it could be like this is where they went for their first date, so they're kind of their spot. So it's a good romantic spot.
We're not gonna skip the rocks, but I got a stone.
Exactly, kind of thing. Yeah. So I got one you don't want to skip.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't want to skip this one. This one I'm, hanging on to. So that's cool. I like that. It's positive. There's got to be a singer that's talking about getting married, which may not be as. But all these, if you do the engagement ring, they're all guys that are at least willing to get married because they proposed. So is there something else? We got the rocks about judgment. Let's just go out and skip some stones instead of throwing rocks at each other.
Right. The world peace one.
Yeah, the kind of world peace, or just peace between two lovers.
Yeah.
Like, let's just get away. Let's get out the two of us.
That's like 6 right there. We're at 6 now.
And I think they're all legit. Skip the rocks. So what are some other ways of rocks? You got rocks, stones, judgment, engagement, diamond. Rock and roll music. But you never want to skip that.
No.
Do you, Johnny? No.
Oh, what else we got?
And we're only 9 minutes in. We should probably stop while we're ahead.
That's what I'm just thinking. Like, that's
so this thing just kind of winds down. We're like,
awesome.
I don't know. That's all I got.
No, that's just awesome.
So
we got 6 angles on that thing. I think the winner is let's go out by the lake, and we're not there to skip the rocks.
Yeah, and part of it depends on, like, Eric Church wouldn't do that. He would do the tonight I'm skipping the rocks too, right? He would do the.
And now Eric Church wouldn't do that because he already did it.
Right?
Yeah.
So part of it depends on what your strength, play to your strength as a writer, play to your strength if you have artist connection, or who's your market, that kind of stuff. What's going to fit best with you? Where's what you do intersect with the commercial marketplace? And so I think there are some legit ones, and You know, you got to do you, but there's some ways to hopefully do that a little more effectively. So,
killer. Now, what if somebody wants to take a song like "Skip the Rocks" and build it up a little bit with a pro? What would they do?
I know one.
Oh, you do?
I look at him, it is ugly mug in the mirror. So yeah, if you wanna take a song title and instead of having it out here for our millions and millions of listeners, just The Rock, I think, coming back. But you want to have some private, consultation. Sorry, Johnny, laughing. I do some one-on-one coaching, so we can set up a private video conference or phone call, whatever works for you, Skype or whatever. And we can go through ideas, and we can do this and go back and forth and prepare your song. Or if you've already written one and there's got a hitch in it, we can repair your song. You can ask me questions about the art, the craft, the business of songwriting. However I can be of service during that 30 minutes or that hour or 2 hours or whatever you want to book, we can do that. So you can either go to songwritingpro.com/coaching for that, and really that's the best place to go there, songwritingpro.com/coaching. You can sign up and just give me your name if you're just interested in learning more. You can see my calendar, my availability, get the details, like how does it work, what should I do to prepare, all that stuff you don't know offhand. I try to put together all that information, make it super easy for you so you know what you're in for, and just have a good time.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of another song title challenge. This podcast exists because we want you to win, so keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.
Song Title Challenge.